Good afternoon, everybody. Hope everyone's Monday is off to a good start. And being that it is Monday, we have some snap counts to take a look at. You guys know the drill by now. We take a look at some relevant and interesting snap counts for the Seahawks' most recent game. And we tried to parse out what this means in terms of how much we're utilizing players and where this team might be headed in terms of their player usage and where this team might be trending in terms of who they're utilizing the most. So, we're striving for balance and we're striving for getting our best players on the field in equal measure. There's definitely got to be some happy medium between balance and getting your stars out there. And we'll get into the details in a second here, but overall I want to say I think this team is definitely headed in the right direction on the snap count front. I definitely think that this team is doing some pretty good things on offense and defense with balancing their snap counts. And I'm interested to see if they can maintain this when they get some players back in the future. But right now, I actually think they're doing some pretty cool things. There are some things that this team is doing on a management level that I don't like, but this stuff is pretty good. And we'll start with running back. And I'll tell you right now, I kind of like this, and I wasn't expecting this. The Seahawks played 56 snaps on offense against the 49ers. 56, which is a season high. It's still not enough. It's still indicative of the fact that we're bad on third down, that we're bad at sustaining drives, blah, blah, blah. But we played 56 snaps. Chris Carson was only on the field for 25 of them. Well short of half. So he's only played 57% of the snaps so far this season. Alex Collins got an almost even share with Carson, 22 snaps. So partially because Collins was playing better than Carson, admittedly, but nevertheless, Collins got almost as much playtime as Carson, and I like this. Carson is not Alvin Kamara. He's not Derrick Henry. There should be no obligation to give him 90% of the snaps. He's not a super duper star. So we're mixing things up a little bit here, and I actually like this. I like the even snap count between Carson and Collins. I think that Collins is probably a better fit for the Waldron offense, even though Carson's a better player. I think that both guys can help this team win. And yeah, I like this. 25 snaps for Carson, 22 snaps for Collins. Homer had 9 snaps and DJ Dallas had 1. I like what we're doing at running back right now. This is the kind of balance that I was hoping for. And that gets us off to a good start with the snap counts. Okay, wide receiver, Metcalf played 46, so he actually came out for 8 plays. I don't think it was because of injury, but he usually only comes out for 3 or 4 plays a game. And this one he came out for quite a few more. Actually, excuse me, he came out for 10. And Lockett came out for 8. So he played 48 snaps. And that's a little less than you would expect, but not in any worrisome way. Metcalf is playing just shy of 90% of the snaps, and Lockett is just shy of 89%. About where you would expect your top 2 receivers to be. Eskridge obviously did not play. Freddie Swain saw his usage get scaled back a little bit, which is kind of interesting because we didn't even have Gerald Everett, but he only got on the field for 25 snaps, so less than half. This coming after a week where he had 45 snaps against the Vikings. So it seems like we were definitely scaling back the receiver usage this week. And given the fact that Metcalf and Lockett were not 100% coming in, it's kind of interesting we chose to go that way. Penny Hart got 8 snaps, not a real significant amount. I don't think we ever targeted him either, so he's definitely not a part of this offense. And the receiver percentages outside of Eskridge, who is injured, is pretty much where you would expect it to be, I think, after 4 games. It seems pretty reasonable to me. Okay, tight end. And we had no Gerald Everett, which was a blow, so Will Dissly got 46 snaps, so he only missed 10 snaps. Lot of Will Dissly. He wasn't super involved in the passing game, but he did make positive contributions. Colby Parkinson, almost certainly, I'm pretty positive this has to be the most snaps he's played in an NFL game by far. 38. And I know he didn't get targeted, and I know we were maybe a little disappointed about that, but I don't think he played badly. He was getting open, and Wilson was just finding other guys who were open. He got open on the 3rd and 1 play that ended up being the big play to Metcalf. Wilson definitely could have hit him there. And I think Parkinson actually held up blocking for the most part, as near as I could tell. So happy with Parkinson. He gave us 38 snaps that were pretty good. And Mabry gave us 8. Obviously, his snaps will probably dry up whenever Everett gets back. He's doing all he can do. He's a limited player, limited capability. But given the fact that we did not have our number 1 tight end, this is not a completely loathsome snap count chart for a tight end group. And it's pretty much what you would expect. I do want to say that Parkinson played more than I would have expected. 38 snaps is a lot, given the fact that I don't think he's ever played more than maybe 10 snaps in his career. So, yeah, pretty good. Okay, let's go over to defense now. And this is the side of the ball where snap count actually probably matters even more. So I'm happy to report that even though we played too many snaps again, the Niners ran, I think, 76 defensive plays on us. 76. That's not okay. That's still not okay. Some of that's on the offense. Some of that's on the defense. You can blame whoever you want to blame, but at the end of the day, if we're playing 70 to 80 snaps a game on defense, you're going to wear down. You're going to wear down, and you're going to have no legs by the end of the season. I firmly believe that. We need to find a way to get off the field more on defense and stay off the field more on defense. However, the balance that this roster is currently showing with this defensive line is pretty impressive. And once we get a couple of guys back out there, and once we actually are able to reduce our overall snap count a little bit, I think this could be really beautiful. And I hope it happens soon, because I don't want these guys to wear out before we can get to the point where we're actually playing maybe 60 to 65 snaps a game on defense. But the seeds are planted, and I really like these snap counts. Look at these defensive end snap counts. Dunlap 47, Alton Robinson 44, Kerry Hyder 51, Rasheem Green 52. Hyder and Green play a little bit more than your top 2 guys. Now, there are a couple reasons why that might be. Robinson came into the game not 100%. Dunlap got dinged up at one point in this game. That didn't help. Rasheem Green and Kerry Hyder might be seen as a little more versatile because they can play the 5-tech and a little bit of 3-tech. That's also probably part of it. But this balance is impressive, and this is without Benson Mayowa. Mayo missed another game. So I really like what this team is doing in terms of spreading the snaps around. Maybe you could argue that I'd rather see Dunlap and Robinson get more snaps than Hyder and Green, but Hyder's playing good. And Rasheem Green, he's not the greatest player in the world, but you do need snap eaters like that. You do need somebody out there who is not necessarily going to make a lot of plays in a game, but you do need somebody out there to just take up space and not be awful. And I don't think Rasheem Green's awful. I don't. And once you get Benson Mayowa back, and if you can manage to find a way to reduce the total number of snaps you're playing to, like I said, 60 to 65, you're going to see, hopefully, a very balanced defensive line with a bunch of different guys getting an opportunity in the game with their legs, with some energy, not having played the whole game going into a big 4th quarter and they got nothing left. And this doesn't even include Daryl Taylor, who I'll get to in a second here, but he's part of the balancing act as well. Okay, defensive tackle, pretty good as well. Poona Ford plays 46 snaps. I still don't know if moving him to 3-tech was the right move. I'm not crazy about what I'm seeing from Poona right now, but he's not bad. Al Woods plays 35. This is the area he should live in as an older player. And by the way, Al Woods has actually played really well so far this year. Genuinely one of our better players on defense, which shocks me. Collier was inactive. Monet had his snap count cut to 15. He did not play a whole heck of a lot. I don't have a problem with that. I'm a little surprised. Maybe he's still not 100%. And Robert Kimdichie played 21 snaps. So it seems like we're taking a little bit of a load off the dedicated defensive tackles. I would have to watch more tape to confirm this, but I would guess that you're seeing guys like Kerry Hyder and Rasheem Green play inside a little bit. That's probably helping take the load off these guys just a tad. And yeah, nobody on the interior of the defense played more than 50 snaps. I'm pretty happy with that. And again, we played a ton of snaps. It could have been a lot worse. Okay. Linebacker Bobby Wagner played every snap, as he pretty much always does, 76. Jordan Brooks played 50. And Jordan Brooks played a decent game. What happened against the 49ers was that we wanted to get a lot of defensive backs on the field, I think. You saw us in dime a decent amount. You saw us putting extra DBs out there like Ryan Neal. So Jordan Brooks comes out on those plays and he doesn't get to get on the field as much. Still getting on the field a good amount. And I think he did play a better game. I'm still not in love or enamored with what he's doing. But 50 snaps for Jordan Brooks. He's at 76% on the season. Seems reasonable. Daryl Taylor played 33 snaps. He's playing mostly end. But this is not a bad place to be for a rookie. I wouldn't hate seeing him get a little more because he's a guy who's really impressing me right now. But he's part of that rotation very much so. And as the season goes on, you will probably see him start to get a little more burn. And thankfully, nothing for Barton this week because Brooks never got benched. Nothing for Ballore, nothing for Radigan. This strikes me as kind of where you want to be. Maybe you want to give Barton a few plays, but you don't want to give him 25 like you did against the Vikings. So if you're taking Brooks out and putting in Barton, that's when I start to have an issue. But taking out Brooks so you can put your dime packages out there and get more defensive backs on the field, the guys like Blair and Amadi and Ryan Neal, that's something I'm a little more amenable to. So this is probably a pretty reasonable place for the linebackers to be in terms of their snap counts. I'm pretty happy with this. I like what I see. I don't know how much I'm in love with Wagner playing every snap, but that's just what he does in this defense. It is what it is. Okay, finally we're going to take a look at cornerbacks here, and this is some interesting stuff. So DJ Reed played every snap, as he does. Trey Flowers did not play a single snap on defense at all. How the mighty have fallen, or something. I don't know. Sidney Jones took over for Trey Flowers and played every snap on the outside. And I made a video earlier this morning talking about how he did. Everybody's going to have their own take on that. I want to see more from him before I make any judgments. Still nothing from Bless You On, still nothing from Trey Brown. So the interesting part of this video is going to be here, where we take a look at the snap counts for the other cornerbacks. Marquise Blair got 14 snaps. I don't know if he was still dinged up and wasn't 100% and they wanted to take it easy with him. To me, Blair getting half the snaps that Amadi does is a mistake. Amadi is not playing that well right now, and Blair has more upside. So I want to see Blair in the game more in relief, I guess you could call it, of Amadi. Amadi, I know he has more experience. I know he's been good in the past. I know he was pretty good last year. So far this year, it has been not that impressive to me, and I want to see the guy with more upside out there. And then we had Ryan Neal playing about 26 snaps. Well, exactly 26 snaps, so about a third. And most of that, near as I could tell, was us playing our dime package. So he wasn't coming in for Blair and Amadi. He was just out there alongside those guys. And it worked. Ryan Neal made plays on the ball. Ryan Neal had a pretty good game. Ryan Neal was doing positive things out there. You got to find other ways to get him out there, period. And if the dime package is going to be what works, then you got to go with that. But he seemed to do pretty well in his 26 snaps. So that's pretty much all we have for this one. No more snap counts to look at. I'm happy with this. This stuff is good. I like where this is going. This is a good balance. This is a good rotation on the... Excuse me. Ooh. This is a good rotation on your defensive line. This is a good rotation in your backfield. I like what this team is doing with their playing time right now for the most part. There are other things that they need to get better at, but this stuff has come a long way after the first couple games. All right, I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Go Hawks. Another video coming later today. It might not be a Seahawks video, but we might have a Seahawks stream tonight. I'll see. And, yeah, see you guys later. Go Hawks.